There it is.
Stop! This story isn't ready yet. I bet you think you know all about this battle. You know, the one where Harold got the arrow in the eye?
Hey?
It's an epic story where almost everything and everyone gets involved. There's Normans, there's Saxons, the Pope, there's even a comet. This was the moment in time that changed British history forever. He's in it. I'll get to him in a minute. Carry on whenever you like, by the way. But you come with me back to 1051. It's just over there.
Stop! Carry on! Who does he think he is?
See? I told you. Right, let's meet the main players.
I'm Edgar, heir to the throne of England, king of all kings.
Get out of it, thanks very much. We're trying to make a history programme. Where was I? Oh yes, the main players. We have Edward the Confessor and his right-hand man and spin doctor, Bishop Jumier.
We're having a spot of trouble.
With the locals.
Then there was the other power in the land. The Godwins. Saxon Earl Godwin of Wessex, a real survivor who owns most of the country. His sons, the Godwin brothers, a right argumentative bunch. But the son to watch, Harold, Earl of East Anglia, a man with ambition.
My lords, you disturb His Majesty's prayers. Our beloved king is communing with God on our behalf. Is he not saintly as he struggles for us all?
He struggles to provide an heir to the throne, I know that much.
The king is at his prayers every day and every night.
Yeah, but he is married to my daughter. They should be together at night making little heirs for the throne. You know what I'm talking about.
Bishop Jumier.
Jumiège.
Whatever. I know you've got this saintly king thing going on. But without an heir, things could and will get very messy. Do you get my drift?
I am William, the Duke of Normandy, and it is my destiny to be King of England when Edward the Confessor dies.
But your claim is so weak. You are barely related to Edward. And the Godwins are so powerful.
But I have a cunning plan involving a boat trip, a mole, and some sacred bones. You see, for 30 years, we Normans have been building a power base in England. My man is already in Edward's court, paving the way for my reign. Things are looking promising indeed.
It all seems a bit unlikely.
Duke William the Bastard, meaning born out of wedlock, is now the most powerful of England's neighbours. He has a lot to live up to. His father was Robert the Magnificent, his grandfather Richard the Good, and with Normans already entrenched in the English court, he can foresee an even greater title for himself.
How about William the Monumental?
Yes, as fascinating as all this is, over in London things are really starting to hot up.
My Lord Godwin, the king has been insulted. A noble Norman lord has been set upon by the Saxons of Dover in a vicious, unprovoked attack and outrage!
The way I heard it, the Normans started it and murdered 20 Saxons.
Godwin, these are your people. You must punish them at once.
Call me old-fashioned, but shouldn't there be a trial to decide who's to blame?
We need no trial. I will check with God. Right, okay. Your Saxons be made to pay for the injury against my noble cousin, and God is with me on this.
I don't think that would be wise, my lord.
I will decide what is wise, and if you cannot carry out my royal decree, you and your family will be banished from the land, and that trollop of a daughter of yours, my wife, will be sent to a convent to learn the ways of God.
Well, she's not learning the ways of men from you, is she?
That's it! You're banished! You're gone! You are out of here!
You may live to regret this, my lord. Come on, lads!
I'll be back.
Earl Godwin and his son Harold proved to be dangerous enemies. They are powerful and wealthy, and by September 1052 are sailing up the Thames with a huge army. Their intention is to regain control of the king.
My liege, the Godwins are back with force. There must be thousands of them. There's never been a larger fleet on the river.
Well, I have the support of the good people of England, too.
They're cheering him, sire, and running to his battle flags, too.
That changes nothing. See my knights as they valiantly go off to battle to defend my name.
Where's everyone gone? Well, I'm not a military expert, but technically speaking, I'd say they've run away.
Oh, c'est la vie.
Right, first of all, no more French to be spoken. Things are going to change around here. We are Saxons, we are back, and we are in charge.
You can remain king, but we run the country.
Swain of Denmark, swine of Denmark, more.
Terrible news, sire. Try not to take this too hard, but my father, Earl Godwin, is dead.
Oh, well. Shame.
Oh, shame, is it? How are the kids? Oh, sorry, you don't have any. That is a shame. Any idea who'll be king next?
Oh, well, I may have promised it to a few people, actually. Let me see. Svein of Denmark, Magnus of Norway. I might have said something to your brother Tostig. Oh, no, I remember. I promised it to that other chap.
What other chap?
William, the bastard.
William? The Norman Duke? Bastard? Well, possession is 9/10 of the law. We'll just have to wait and see.
What do you mean, possession is 9/10 of the law? You're not saying that Harold will be king.
Well, now I'm not there to represent you. Harold believes he's in with a chance.
What? It was promised to me. He has no real claim.
To be fair, it's as good as yours. Did I say that out loud?
I'm certain we can strengthen your claim on paper.
Are you sure?
Does the Pope wear a funny hat?
So, as the Normans conspire to get William the English crown, Edward, who still has no children, announces the existence of a blood relative and genuine heir to the throne from Hungary. This throws Harold's world into further confusion.
Edward? Who?
Edward, my nephew. You remember my brother? King Edmund Ironside? His son, Edward.
Come here. He can't go introducing new characters now. How's anybody meant to follow this? Tell him.
Well, that's politics for you. The king has just remembered who's next in line.
Indeed, and Edward is his name. And the line is guaranteed. He already has a son, and he's called Edgar. Perfect. Well, let's go get him.
Great.
So So the day comes when Harold has to greet the next king of England.
Welcome, Edward.
He knows nothing about him. Is he a tyrant? A fierce leader? Perhaps a butcher of defenseless women and children? Who knows?
I came so very, very hippie. I come from far, far overseas, but always I say to my wife, you think you marry some dumb cop nobody but no. I him somebody. That's because in Ingefunkerland I am the kinky pin one time. See, honey. See, honey, I'm home. My God. Can you believe this is happening? My God, I love you all. We are gonna be good friends. Good friends together, for sure.
How do you see this turning out?
Well, put it like this. If he makes any appointments more than a month in advance, it better be with a light pencil.
One day my prince will come. One day.
But the party didn't last.
Is my father dead?
I'm afraid so, lad.
Oh, then I'm next to be king.
Not yet.
When will it be my turn then?
We'll just have to see. So, Hungarian's out of the picture, and his son, Edgar, who's definitely next in line, gets completely ignored. Now, at about this time, and for reasons never properly explained, Harold suddenly turns up in William's court in Normandy, and here's how the Normans recorded what happened.
I swear on these sainted bones that I will do everything in my power to support your claim to the throne of England, and to cement this alliance, I will marry your sister.
Foxy lady.
But the Saxons, and Harold in particular, had a very different recollection of that event.
I swear on these sainted bones that I will do all in my power to support your claim to the throne of England.
We'll never know the truth about that meeting, but either way, Harold came home to England, and William remained in Normandy, confident that Harold had sworn a sacred oath. Years pass, and now he can return to the years whence from whence. Okay, where we started. 1066, and Edward the Confessor's deathbed.
I have to confess, I'm not feeling well.
No, my lord, you are dying.
Thanks. Ease the blow, why don't you? Oh well, in that case. Harold, I commend the entire kingdom to your protection.
Would you like to make that a little bit more definite and plain? You know, I name you heir Harold, you're next Harold, something like that. Focus, my liege. This is pretty important. What? You want me to be king? Well, you all heard him, didn't you?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Good. You know it makes sense.
On the same day as Edward the Confessor is buried, Harold is proclaimed and crowned King of all England.
Because I'm worth it.
Now you'd think, wouldn't you, that Harold would be a happy chap, king and all that. But no, there was a blot on his landscape.
Well, in the sky, to be more accurate.
The Bayeux tapestry records the coronation, but look, top right. That furry star is Halley's Comet. The consensus at the time was that this was an ill omen. Not that Harold was the only one having problems.
What is all this racket?
It's William. He's just heard of Harold's coronation and he's not taking it too well.
Hey, take it easy, dude. Things can't be that bad.
He promised me I would be king. And he broke a sacred oath. You saw it. You did! Edward promised me I would be king. And now Harold's gone and grabbed it. Okay. That's it. I'm going to invade. I've had enough of those two-timing English.
Here's where William played his trump card. He sent an envoy to Rome to convince the Pope that Harold was a thug who mistreated the Catholic clergy. The Pope gave William his formal blessing for an expedition against Harold. Not only that, but gave him his papal banner to carry into the battle. At this point, all those Norman barons who had been reluctant to fight suddenly became very keen on what they saw as a holy war against the English.
Ready for the big day?
I would be, but the soothsayer says there are bad omens. And the weather's been awful over the channel.
You put a lot of faith in him, do you?
I think he's a load of old codswallop, to be honest. But the men need to believe things will go right. And things are going well. I have an enormous fleet assembled, thousands of men and horses. We've even got these flat-packed castles. Sir Brian, make sure you take the pegs with you this time.
Oui, mon Duke.
Never seem to go together right. Always bits left over.
The Normans really did bring across a flat-packed castle, a wooden one. It consisted of pre-cut planks which were then fastened together with wooden pegs. They were probably numbered, so they could be put together in the right order. That way you ended up with a keep and not a wardrobe.
My lord, Harold Edrada from Norway has landed with a huge battle force and is camped at Stamford Bridge. No, not that one. Stamford Bridge near York. No.
Harold Hardrada, King of Norway, was in the Premier League when it came to cruelty. He particularly enjoyed sending little birds into the eaves of houses with flaming wood chips tied to their tails. Nice.
Anyway, they've landed.
Oh, everybody wants a piece of the action. No worries, my northern lords will sort it.
Unfortunately, they lost in extra time, sire.
Oh, do I have to do everything? To horse!
Wouldn't it be nice if we could afford real horses?
Tous les dimanches et souvent les samedis, on se retrouve au bal musette.
Everybody was...
Action. It was here at Stamford Bridge that the English finally met the Vikings. Harold had managed to gather together and march an army in just 5 days from London all the way to York. An amazing feat of arms which caught Harold Hardrada completely by surprise. Look at him. He's enormous, isn't he?
The bigger they come, the harder they fall.
Yes, and as the thousands of men fought, well, you're going to have to use your imagination. This isn't Hollywood, you know. Anyway, the long and the short of it is, Harold won the day.
Right, he was a big one, eh? Oh, I'm glad that's over. My lord, the Normans have landed at Pevensey Bay on the south coast with an enormous invasion fleet.
Where was our fleet?
We've gone back to the Thames, sire.
You're beginning to get on my nerves, you know. To horse! Do you think I could have a real horse this time? It's a hell of a long way, you know.
Why don't you just take your time? Rest up, rest your army. You can take on William later. He's not going anywhere, you know. Do you know, if only he'd waited, he'd have probably done a lot better.
It says here, apply side F to side K.
Would you hurry up and put that thing together? Harold will be here soon. And bring forth my soothsayer.
He drowned on the way over, sire.
As omens go, it's probably a bad one.
Hello, we got this.
In those days, people took omens very seriously. William fell to the ground when landing on English soil. It was considered a bad sign. It had happened to Harold Hardrada, who, as we know, came to a sticky end. But William dismissed this omen, stating that he purposefully grabbed his new land with both hands. With such a dangerous and crucial battle ahead, it's no surprise that people saw a cosmic significance in all that was around them.
And this soothsayer really did drown on the way across. Now that's funny. Well, it is, isn't it?
Can you smell it?
Smell what?
The smell of battle.
What I can smell is several thousand men who've marched a very long way and probably haven't washed in, well, years. Oi! Are you sure you're ready for this? Your army would be twice this size if you'd waited.
Surprise is the key, and we hold the high ground.
Well, good luck.
So, we've got Bretons on the left flank, Normans in the centre, and the French on the right. Right. On my signal, unleash hell!
What's the signal?
What?
What's the signal going to be?
Well, I'll just wave my arms a bit.
Oh, right. Oh, and when you say unleash hell...
I mean attack, you fool!
All right, just checking.
Leave it.
I was just...
Leave it.
Can I just take a moment? Here's someone you won't have heard of. Tailorfen is his name, a Norman, also known as Incisor Ferry, probably an ancient ancestor of Brian Ferry. His name means tooth of iron, and his job, and this is really true, was to dance out in front of the Normans, singing, juggling his sword, and taunting his enemies, the Saxons.
If you want my body and you think I'm sexy, come on, baby, tell me so. Oh, yes, let me. He's dying out there.
Oh, I don't know, he's a pretty good singer, and he's doing...
No, he actually is dying out there.
Still, at least he's better known now. And then the Normans charged. And again. And again. This is going on for hours. Look. It's the Bayeux Tapestry. Recording it all. A sort of ancient news report. Pretty good, eh? In actual fact, it didn't happen till a year afterwards, but, you know.
Right, keep it like that. That's lovely.
How's it going?
Well, our shield wall has held firm, and look, the Normans are collapsing on one side and running away. No, don't follow them! You'll get cut off! travellers who've been cut off.
Well, we won't fall for that. Realising this was working, the Normans pretended to run away again.
No, don't follow them! Oh, is anybody listening to me? It's because their farmers are gathered on the way here. They're not real soldiers. No discipline. Loads of guts, though.
Yeah, I can see them all over the field. Look, they've been cut off again.
I'm going to lose. Young ladies for fools. But that's the way I like it, baby. I don't want to live.
Find out! You had somebody right out with that!
When all of a sudden...
Ow! Gosh!
What?
I've got somebody in my eye!
Hang on. Hold still. I can see it. Yeah, I can see it. Yeah. Oh! Oops.
The king is dead. The king is fallen.
So that's it. The battle lasted more than 12 hours. And Harold came within an ace of victory. How different our history might have been had he won.
Go down and find his body. He should be buried overlooking the sea, so that he can always keep a watch out for invaders, as he did in life.
Not very successfully.
But how did history change? What did the Normans ever do for us?
They had a tremendous influence on the development of both churches and castles. Don't deny anything. They completely ruined the language and surnames. They gave us surnames.
And the feudal system.
In twilight glow I see blue eyes cry in rain.
Can we light some candles? I can't see a thing in here.
I'm an old hermit, you know. I'm not King Midas, not made of candles. But very well, I can't see too well either. All right, there we are. Now, what do you want?
You're Harold. King flipping Harold.
Well, you don't think an arrow in the eye was going to kill me, do you?
But you can't be him. You've still got your eye.
Oh, it wasn't me who got it in the eye. Though I was badly injured, never really recovered. I just wear this because the tourists like it.
That's going too far.
Well, the facts are there if you care to look. William said he would bury me if I could be found. But was I? My mother offered William my body weight in gold for my remains, but he refused. Furthermore, there are at least 3 documents to say that I lived. One, as a hermit near Chester. So listen to an old man when he tells you things may not have been as they seemed.
That turns everything on its head. Well, you just have to make up your own mind. By the way, what happened to that young lad Edgar?
Oh, he's still with us. He grew up to be a fine knight. Fought with all the kings, William the Conqueror, William, Rufus, Henry. Fought against them, too, to try and get the crown back.
So how come he was never killed?
People kept ignoring him.
I am Edgar, true King of England, and I demand the right to be...
Another new series next on BBC One, tracing the life and legacy of a designer that is brilliantly British, starting with Chippendale. While over on BBC 4 now, Simon Sharma takes a more conventional look at the events leading up to 1066 in A History of Britain.